Also to note, some of these dates have got these are formatted so that we're seeing both the date and a time, really quite specific. Now, if you need that, that's great. You can go with that. But otherwise, if I go back to my Home ribbon tab, I could change that and just have it display just the date as a short date or a long date. Or I could even go into customize it slightly. Maybe I'll put that back, or we could go into more number formats to customize it, again from the drop down alongside there. And if I look at this custom format, I can just adjust it to show, for example, what should we have? Let's have changing this so that it says DDD, which will give me the day of the week. And then I might have the month as I've got there. Maybe I don't quite want it in full. I do need the date, but I don't want that in front. So I want that in front rather. So I'm just going to click in front of the month and I'm going to do the DD to give me the date. So just by adjusting that, I've incorporated the date, the day of the week, and also, of course, the month and the year. So you can customize your dates in that way. I just click on OK. Slightly different formatting now. I could include the timings on that as well. Also, it is formatted, it's over on the right-hand side, all of these dates and times are, so it does mean that I can calculate on those. If I change this to show as a serial number, or put the general formatting on it, you'll see it comes up with a day in terms of Excel's calendar. So this is 44,267 days away from the start of Excel's calendar. The remaining digital or decimal places there reflect the time as well. I'm going to pop that back. I'm just going to copy the formatting, maybe as it was, or we can just do this and just format it as a short date, perhaps in this instance. Okay, let's take a look at the cost then. Got a few cost figures there. We're going to start off by summing those values. They are numeric, so easy enough to sum or total those. I'll jump back to my formulas ribbon where the auto sum button is a little more obvious. But if I just wanted to put in a sum, Alt equals is the shortcut. Excel takes its best guess. It does like to total down a column or the column above. Clearly, it hasn't got it quite right because I want to sum the cost column. I'm just going to take my mouse and select the cells. I'm redirecting that range and I can enter that in and it gives me the total there. If one of those values changes, of course, that sum function will automatically, instantly update. If I want to count how many cells there are that contain numeric values or maybe even alphabetic values, the count function can do that for me. So how many cells have we got in the cost column? For this one, we'll start typing it in. It is actually, in fact, let's go to the auto sum button again. If I click on the drop down, count numbers is here. All right, so I'll put that in and it puts in the equals count and the brackets so that I can select my range. Now, just little idiosyncrasy here, but I'm going to include the cost column, the cost heading even. So selecting the cost heading and the cells underneath it, enter that in, and it tells me there are 13 cells, in fact, with numeric values entered. If I want to include how many cells or just include cells with alphabetic entries or text entries, then it's the count A function. Now this one doesn't appear up at the top there on the auto sum, so I'm going to start typing this one in. So equals count A. You can see it starts to appear at the bottom there. It just gives me a list of fx. That just indicates that these are functions. So I'm going to double click on the count a function. It also adds the bracket in, and then I can select, in this case, the same range again, including that heading. So this time it's now telling me there are 14 entries, both alphabetic and numeric. I've used that on occasions. If you're counting, if I've got some courses, for example, you've got some appointment dates, and you want to know how many dates there are in there, or how many values there are, date values perhaps, then you can use the count function to do that. It will count those, you know, how many dates have we got booked in. If you just got has an appointment been arranged and you've put a yes in there, then you could count the number of text entries. All right, but if you need to do that with slightly differently, and you need yes, number of yeses and the number of no's, then we need something slightly different for that one.